I gave you fair warning. Beware, beware, beware.
What's up? This is Danny Swift Garcia. Shout out to Ring King TV, man. Salute. Fight, because Madonna, man, he comes to fight, but Broner, he's got to use his skills, and beating him, he just can't be flat-footed. And then I think he win the fight pretty easy if he doesn't stand in front of him. He got to use his skills.
And your good friend Gary Rosado, he's fighting Quillen. That's how you see that one going down.
That's another good fight, actually. Gabi's known as the tough fighter, but he's a hard worker, man. He's an impressive fighter, so I think it's gonna be a good fight, and I'm gonna be there watching it.
Angel, can you talk about the pride and how you felt in the display that he put on in his last fight, and at the same time, the redundance about you want the right trainer for him?
Well, the thing is that I always knew, like I never doubted that. See, I always teach Danny because boxing is basically 90% mental. I never trained Dan like an opponent. He's no opponent. Like when Danny in 2008, he became the alternate with the politics of he should have been the 2000 Olympian, and they wanted to use him as a sparring. But I said he's not a sparring, he's the champ. And y'all making a mistake. That's why it was the worst in 2008 Olympian team. 2008 was the worst American team. Well, from there on down, haven't been a great team since. I guess they got cursed. But the thing is that, what was another question? I'm sorry.
The thing was, one is how you felt in the great victory that he just had. And also, too, like I said, there's been a talk of father and son combination.
Oh, yeah, about that, yeah, exactly.
Guy.
No, but that's okay, they can talk all they want, because I've been in his side since he was 10 years old, so I'm either wrong.
See, a lot of trainers.
Anybody can go to the gym, and anybody can come steal Danny right now.
A lot of trainers train you in the gym, but
this is how a lot of trainers train.
That's the difference
between me and a lot of trainers is that a lot of trainers put you to spar and teach you how to get beat up. So by the time you get Danny's age, you all punch drunk. Look at Danny's face. The only reason he got these scars because of the hip butts. Oh, and Morales punched at the last round, 11th round. Okay. But the thing, my smack. He knew better because he said, damn, my dad hit harder than Matisse. Hold on. I can't go back to the corner, but they can say all they want. It doesn't matter to me because I know I'm happy and he's happy. Listen, you can have 20,000. You can have 20,000 fighters. Doesn't mean you're a good trainer. Doesn't mean that half of them come to you grown men already. I mean, they already made champion. Anybody could do that. I can make him, and then you're a coach with a book that's telling people how to box and all these 20,000 million ways to train a fighter. So there is no correct way to train a fighter because in the 18th century they fought like this. How you know this is not the right way of fighting? And then they turned it like this. So how you know this ain't the correct way to jab? So it's 20,000 million ways to train fighters. All these high-tech trainers that make all these books and all that. Come on, that's a bunch of baloney. Because they asked me one time that question, who I train, I look up to trainers. I said, why should I look up to the trainers? They're not the ones getting punched. I look up to the fighters. But it doesn't matter to me because I'm happy with Danny. And I know what Danny can give me. So when I speak, I know behind that voice is somebody's going to back it up. I can't do that with nobody else. I can't put my life in risk. Like I said, I was going to chop my head off, but Danny lost. I can't do that with everybody. You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say. I'm glad Danny won, so you didn't have to do it. Well, aren't you the only Puerto Rican world champion?
From Philadelphia. Right oh, yeah, right now,
in the world, like,
I think so. I think it's another guy. What's that one kid's name? I think his name's forgot his name. I think his name's Martinez or something. Yeah, he was a world champion, right?
Sergio.
Yeah, he's world champion.
You spanking Danny. Did you take a book out of Tito Tillada's father?
Oh, yeah, Tito Trinidad used to do that, but it was just not because the last time when he fought, when he was fighting Zab, I screamed in his ear. Because what happens is, somebody ever screamed in your ear, and then how your eardrum hits the brain, and wanted to make you turn around and punch the guy in the face? That's the tricks of the trade that's just naturally given to me. To wake a fighter up. But last time I screamed in his ear, because I know the eardrum, it vibrates into the brain, and it gives you that thing you want to turn around and whack somebody. The last time I was Zab, I screamed in his ear to wake him up.
Danny.
Because fighters get into that zone where you think they're looking at you, but they're not there.
They're not listening.
Exactly, they're not there because they could have got hit with a shot, they could have concussion or something. And to you, they still standing, they still fighting, but basically they probably don't remember half of that stuff that happened after the fight.
With everything you're doing for Philly, have you thought about maybe throwing, since you could basically pick your own fights, your own venue, putting a fight on in Philly with a lot of the Philly fighters on the undercard? I also know you have Swift Attraction music. You know, even do it a complete show. You know, a concert part of it and everything.
Fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was talking about that earlier, like throwing a fight.
Yeah.
Because I trust me, I've seen a lot of the things you've done and everything you're talking about. You know what you do for the city. I just think with all the Philly fighters that are coming out now, it would definitely be a good attraction.
Yeah,
you know,
will definitely.
And the fact that you have plenty of places in Philly to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thought about that, but like I said, first you got to make your mark in the game before you.
And you don't feel like you've done that with
No,
Matisse?
I feel like I did now. I feel like I've been there, to be honest with you. But it's just you know, I guess I don't know. I guess the promoters and stuff don't think Philly's like a marketable place for boxing. But
see, now with
I
all
don't
the
know.
Philly history.
I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
We're gonna start working.
That's one of my goals.
These guys with promotions
I want to do
coming
one
up.
in Philly, and I want to
We
do
are
one in Puerto
doing
Rico.
that.
That's my
Well, Puerto Rico, you know you're going to sell out automatically. There's not a problem with that. It's just, you know, because a lot of people are talking about, you know, the only two places for you to have a fight right now, besides like Vegas and the West Coast, like on the East Coast, would either be Atlantic City or the Garden or here. You know, it just, you being Philly fighter and all the Philly fighters, it seems like you all have to come to Jersey to kind of, you know, throw on a big show, or New York. You know, I just think, you know, having a possibility of doing something in Philly for the fans and go from there.
Yeah, I would love to, man. That's one of my dreams, to have a world championship fight in Philly. You know, there's a lot of history in Philly, like
some Rocky Balboa type shit.
Before, you know, a lot of fighters, great fighters from Philly. So I would love to bring it. Yeah, Bernard. I would love to bring a championship fight.
Yeah, because you see a lot of guys, you build your record in Philly, and then all of a sudden you say become someone, become a champ, and then you don't look at Philly anymore.
You know how many times we fought in Philly?
How many?
We only fought one time.
I think it was twice.
Twice, yeah, what's twice?
Solo boxeo.
No, three times.
Yeah, with under Carl Bernard, solo boxeo, and
two solo boxeo and Bernard's card.
So weight classes aside, when do you think you'd return to the ring?
Huh?
Weight classes aside, when do you think we'd like to see you again in the ring?
Oh man, you know, I wouldn't even take no punishment. If they book me for a fight tomorrow, I'll be ready.
Punishment aside, though,
in the junior welterweight that you wouldn't mind getting in there right now. I mean, anyone that you want to, you know, specifically get in there and just.
Right now, I don't. You know, I really don't know. Like, to be honest with you, it's I don't know, man. I really don't.
See, the thing about that is, you don't never want to call names because then it might bite you.
One thing is always going to be somebody.
If it doesn't happen, then people get disappointed.
They're going to be like, yeah, I got
exactly. Exactly. He's ready for whoever. Whoever Golden Boy wants to put, whoever Al Heyman says, they pick him, I train him, he fights him.
Well, being a Puerto Rican champ, wouldn't one day you feel you want to go back to Puerto Rico and fight?
That's what I just said. I want to either do one in Philly and I want to do one in Puerto Rico. I think that'll be great for my career.
People
also for your people.
You're living in the country. Danny from Puerto Rico.
You're right.
I'm
going to Puerto Rico in a few weeks.
Yeah, you're going to get a bandstand.
I'm going to go out there.
You're going to meet Tito Trinidad and all the people out there.
He talked to him on the phone.
Yeah.
What part of Puerto Rico you guys from? What part of it?
Naguabo. That's in between Macao and Fajardo.
What's it called?
Naguabo.
Naguabo.
Yeah, that's it. And then my wife is from Guayama. No, she's born in Guayama, but raised in Guayama.
That's good to know for the Puerto Rican fans.
Philly.
Word on Spanish.
He talked to him Spanish. He understands. Yeah. He did the radio station today all in Spanish. Like he spoke back in English, but they talked to him where he meant
I talked to a
it.
lot of people in Puerto Rico and they left the studio over there. So when you over there, be ready.
Yeah, I'm be ready. I mean, everybody in Puerto Rico speak English now anyway, so I'm cool. That's like being in New York.
You're right. When I was a kid, nobody spoke English.
Oh, well, let me tell you.
That was a long time ago.
Let me tell you. Last night.
You're right though.
Last night I saw a Gran Combo in Radio City Music Hall, and all they did was speak Spanish, man. El que no habla español, forget about it. And it was all, man, it was beautiful concert. Yeah, Spanish. Exactly. And all the non-Spanish is, ¿qué pasó? What do you say?
So they had the problem.
Yeah, they had the problem.
And Danny, any Puerto Rican fighters you watched growing up?
Oh yeah, I watched all the Puerto Rican fighters from when I was, I watched Trinidad, I watched Cotto. Cotto's one of my favorite fighters. I watched Mama Lopez.
So,
Camacho?
since you watched Trinidad, your father took a book out of his father and smacked it.
I know.
But it seemed to it worked for you.
Yeah, but the
For
thing
him,
about that
towards the
was-
end, it didn't. But it definitely.
That's because he did it so much.
Remember when he didn't fight?
Smacked.
Remember when he didn't get smacked? When he fought, who was it he fought?
When he
Bernard,
fought
was
Bernard,
it?
Yeah, Bernard.
They said that he smacked, he sold him out. They were saying that his father sold him out.
We'll have a word.
That's
hard. That's hard. So,
That's what the fans were saying.
You being a Philly fighter and being down there, do you see any? Do you see any guys from Philly you see coming up that?
Talent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of new talent, man. I see a lot of young kids, man. It's a lot of kids out.
Help some of them you help get their names out, you know, by mentioning because you see them and on a daily
There's
basis.
a kid named Brandon Pizarro. He's like 100. I think he's 119 pounds. He just won like the ringside. He won the Goldie Gloves before.
Probably out in Cali now for the PALs.
There's a lot of kids coming out to win the national championships from out of Philly. So Philly got a good young crowd coming up.
All right.
Danny, a couple last words to the fans out in Poland.
Shout out to all my fans in Poland. We did it again. Keep supporting me. I love you guys.
Always a pleasure.
Tim, one question. You're the undefeated world champion. You've done more exposing of your challengers than they have exposing of your weaknesses. So how do you and your dad figure out in the gym what you're going to work on next?
You just like I said before, it's just like when I get in there with my opponents, it's just more in me. I have a fighter spirit. Like a lot of fighters train to get good and train to get to that level, and they are good. Don't get me wrong, but they just don't have it deep in them to make adjustments
Beyond your soul.
and believe in yourself every second, every single minute of the round. And I think that's what I have over other fighters. I have the spirit of a fighter, and I have the ability to adapt and remain champion.
Do you think is this the last fight we're going to see you at this weight?
It's a possibility. Possibility.
Money talks.
I might have one more, but we gotta see what's out there. And if any fighters, it don't make no sense, then I also go up and conquer new things.
Would you rather fight Khan for a chance to fight Mayweather? Would that be a likely scenario?
Would I rather fight who?
Would you take on Khan to get the right to fight Mayweather?
I gave you fair warning. Beware, beware, beware.